The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Less than 1,000 new COVID-19 cases were logged in Metro Manila on Saturday, according to the OCTA research group. Citing data released by the Health Department, OCTA's Professor Guido David said that of nearly 3,800 fresh infections tallied, only 562 were from the capital. Despite this, the DOH rejected calls to de-escalate the region to COVID-19 Alert Level 1, at least for now. Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere pointed out that NCR must first meet certain parameters for the lowest alert level.
Alert level 1 really is our new normal. Pero kailangan, katulad ng sabi ko, prepared po tayong lahat. No? Na ang mindset natin, we will still be practicing the safety protocols kahit na wala na pong restriction sa ating mga pupuntahan.
The World Health Organization says dropping precautions against COVID-19 would be, quote, foolish. Now, this Bloomberg Quick Take tells us why.
Just as I'm asking you about the start of the pandemic and the declaration of it, I think a lot of people want to hear about the end of it. You know, they want to know, when will we know it's over, or certainly at a point where you can say we're not in a global pandemic. What is that point?
So I don't think anybody can predict when that point will come. We're looking at scenarios. And the scenario that we hope will play out will be that in 2022, we will have enough people vaccinated around the world to have that wall of immunity. And we know now that the vaccines we have currently are very good at preventing severe disease and death. And so if we can build that immunity, which I have to remind everyone that 3 billion people around the world still haven't had their first dose of vaccine. I mean, that's shocking. Even though we've had almost 10 billion doses administered worldwide. It could either circulate at a low level, infect people, some people get ill, but not a lot of people get severely ill. It could also, like influenza, have seasonal peaks in the future. Or there's a bad scenario as well, that we might get another variant after Omicron that is not the mild variant, but we could get a variant that's as transmissible or more than Omicron, but also is more virulent or more deadly. We can't rule that out. And that's why we're saying, let's not declare the pandemic over, as some people are doing now. It would be foolish to drop all our precautions that we've been taking all of this time. We need to continue that, and hopefully by the end of 2022, we'll be in a much better position. Because let's remember, this is a pandemic. So one country cannot do something without thinking that they won't be affected by what goes on in another part of the world. A variant can arise anywhere and come back, and you know, you're back to square one. So I think it's good if the whole world moves together. We still need to be cautious, but it's too early to declare the pandemic over.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Religious group El Shaddai has formally endorsed the Marcos-Duterte tandem for the May polls. But the group's leader, Mike Velarde, says he could have endorsed any one of the candidates. Til De Vera has the report.
Religious group El Shaddai has formally endorsed presidential candidate Bongbong Marcos and his running mate Sara Duterte Carpio. El Shaddai leader brother Mike Velarde formally announced the endorsement at a prayer rally on Saturday. According to Duterte Carpio, Velarde had already told them in certain terms that he will be supporting them in the May elections.
Nagkausap po kami and nagsabi po siya na i-endorse niya kami as president and vice president candidate.
Velarde says he has endorsed the self-styled unity because of their message of unity. He added that so many presidents came after the late dictator Marcos, and yet the country saw no improvement.
It's time for us Filipinos to be united. After all, napagbigyan natin ng yung makalaban ni Marcos ng maraming taon. Diba? Baka naman ito may magawang mabuti sa atin. That's why I have chosen them.
Velarde also said that he could have supported any of the presidentiables, but in the end, only the BBM-Sara tandem approached him for an endorsement.
Actually, kinoconsider ko sa lahat, but then wala namang lumapit sa akin kundi yung dalawang yun. Kung hindi ka man kailangan, bakit mo susuportahan?
Marcos Jr. and Duterte Carpio welcomed the religious leader's support. Marcos Jr. says their tandem and the group's values work well together.
His is a message of love, ours is a message of unity, and it works very well together.
El Shaddai is known to engage in block voting with millions of members in their group. The religious leader has also endorsed Marcos Jr. in 2016 when he ran for vice presidency and lost. For News 5, Dale De Vera, we're One News.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. Filipinos in crisis-hit Ukraine are under close monitoring, according to the Foreign Affairs Department. The agency says it is in close coordination with the honorary consulate in Ukraine's capital through the country's embassy in Poland. The DFA is encouraging some 380 Filipinos there to report any incidents that may occur. Meanwhile, the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration has increased the deployment cap for healthcare workers. The ceiling has now doubled at 7,000 from the 3,500 limit in early 2021. The annual cap is set to ensure that the country has enough healthcare workers amid the pandemic. And pump prices are set to increase for the 7th straight week. Unioil projects that the prices of diesel would increase by up to 1 peso and 10 centavos per liter. Gasoline prices are likewise expected to go up by 1 peso and 20 centavos. And for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.